What's up, y'all? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's have a little chitty chat. A little chitty chat chat. Okay? So, the reason why I'm doing this video is I've had some of you guys reach out to me wanting to know my thoughts about Beverly Hills, Married to Medicine, the Traitors, and the Valley Persian style. And I said, you know what? I'm not reviewing these shows, but I am casually watching them. So why not just have a casual conversation, a little chitty chat, you know? So let's have a chat. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. All right, y'all, so let's chat. Now, I know a couple of y'all are going to be like, why didn't you review, Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, especially with those being kind of like staples on my channel? Those were shows that when I started my channel, I was reviewing. And the truth of the matter is, I did not want to overwhelm myself. The last time that I reviewed like 4 or 5 shows at the same time, I was spent. I was stressed out. I was anxious because I set like a schedule for myself and I couldn't keep up with reviewing those shows and like working and all of that. It was not working for me. And this year I told myself that I was going to really stop doing that to myself, because I'm the type of person that I can set expectations and goals for myself, but I will get to that goal but be riddled with like anxiety and be stressed out and be sick. But the goal will be met, and I'm realizing that that is toxic and I can't live my life like that. Okay, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to have to do what I can. Also, I don't make enough on YouTube to stress myself out like that. Okay, now, if I was making real coinage, real dividends, okay, like Funky Dineva, I think off of one video, he says like that's basically like almost like a 6-figure paycheck for him. Now, if I was making that type of money off of videos, hey, I'll take on that stress. Okay, I will gladly take on that stress. But like, I don't make that much, and it just didn't make sense to me to stress myself out in that way. So I just told myself, focus on what I can do and put out what I can that is of quality. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to commit to reviewing Salt Lake City and Real Housewives of Potomac, and then casually watch the other shows. And that's what I've been doing. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Beverly Hills first. So currently this is season 15 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. There are 7 episodes out right now, and episode 8 will premiere on Thursday, February the 5th. It's a lackluster season and we only 7 episodes. It's not given. It is not. And I should have known when I did not like the promo photo that I was not going to really be into the season, because it seems like the only thing that is interesting to me is the back and forth between Amanda and Dorit. And that's not saying a lot because I'm not really into what they got going on. But I'm like, dang, because they went from this really pretty blue background that was given 1950s, like old Hollywood glam, to now we're in the back room in the dressing room in some dank room where it's dingy and dirty. And I was just like, if that was going to be the backdrop, why not change their outfits? And they put this ugly filter on top of it. Like, I don't like it. And that should have told me I was not going to be that entertained by this season. Okay. But let's get into it. Let's first start off with Kyle. Kyle, to me, she's only being propped up because of plot armor, which meaning she's only here because she's the only OG. She's been here since season 1 and they're on season 15. But if she was not an OG, I feel like they would have cut her a long time ago. This storyline with Mauricio and this, like, are they going to go through with the divorce or not, is so annoying to me, because I'm just like, girl, did y'all cook this up? Because it's starting to feel like this is a scheme set up by Todd to bring us back to Bull. Shouts out to Aunt Bertha, because I'm not understanding. Y'all have been separated for almost, I want to say like 4 years. We getting separated? We getting a divorce or not? Like, what we doing? And it is beyond me that I don't understand why Kyle did not think about a life without her children and without Mauricio, because I feel like she bisexual or lesbian her way too close to the sun like Icarus, and she burnt up and fell into the ocean. I really feel like Morgan broke her heart, And this is why she is now reminiscing and thinking like, maybe I need to get back with Mauricio, because that conversation she had with Erica was telling to me. And what I mean by that is, I feel like she was trying to say that she wanted to be open with Morgan on the show, but Morgan created a boundary and was like, I don't want my brand attached to this show. Because to say that Morgan did not want to be out is weird to me when that's a full STEM lesbian. I would say she's a masculine lesbian, but most masculine white lesbians that I have met have cut their hair off. They got like a real short cut. She giving STEM. Okay, that she still wear a little lip gloss and might have real cute panties. All right. I said, girl, that's a full-on lesbian. Granted, she is a country music singer and her fan base is very conservative. They know she a lesbian, but they ain't gonna never admit or acknowledge she's a lesbian. They just gonna listen to the music. You were showing up to her concerts. Y'all were getting stopped by paparazzi while y'all were walking out, hanging out with Kesha. Y'all were going on trips together. People figured out that she was like in Africa with you based off of her reflection being in your sunglasses. Like, Kyle, you were actively dating this woman, and I feel like you told her that maybe the network, or you started to feel the pressure from the fans getting annoyed that you weren't being open and honest about this relationship, and you were like, hey, we got to come on the show together. I need you to come on this show. And Morgan decided, girl, I'm not attaching my brand to Bravo or the Housewives universe, and you were like, you were forced to make a decision, and you made that decision not to continue that relationship with her, which I do think broke your heart. So you got your heart broken by a 30-year-old. While Mauricio is out here dating 30-year-olds. He'll probably come back to you once he gets his heart broken by a 30-year-old. Granted, I'm happy it's a 30-year-old. And he not dating 20-year-olds. I mean, he has dated a few of them, but most of the women I've seen Mauricio posed with or kissing and making out with have been in their early 30s, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather they be in their 30s with careers and fully developed brains than be in their 20s. But yeah, I feel like once Mauricio gets his heart broken by a 30-year-old, he'll hit you up. Because the fact that on episode 7, when he popped up, because y'all know he was fully mic'd up. When he popped up at that restaurant meeting that you, Bose, and Bose's friend and Dorit were at, and Dorit asked him, like, do you ever think about filing? And he was like, no. It's because he knows the door is open for him to always come back to you. And because you leave it open. Because every time y'all get together, Kyle, you're crying. Like, in full on. And he's just looking at you like, oh, you okay? Like, woo, woo, woo. He's not like... He don't care. Mauricio said, girl, if you was going to be in these streets with Morgan, I can be in these streets with these girls too. It's just crazy to me that Kyle, to me, just did not think of like, what if me and Morgan don't work out? Like, what is my life going to be like if I don't like find somebody else, or if Mauricio moves on, or it's wild to me. And I think it's just because she's a January Capricorn like me, and I often think a trait of a Capricorn, whether it's December or January, is like overthinking and you thinking about all the possible parameters. I have worked myself into like almost a panic attack thinking about all the different bad outcomes of a decision that I have made, you know, or could make. And I'm just like, did you not think about what life would be like without him? And the fact that it's like she hasn't is weird to me, because it's clear she don't know what to do, and she is very much surprised that Mauricio don't really want no parts of her right about now. Like, he really is living his best life. When he decided to buy that house, that should have told her, let me go down to the courthouse and file these papers. Then we have Erica. Erica has this whole like a phoenix, I'm rising from the ashes storyline. She's had this for 3 seasons, and I don't care. The fact that she has admitted that she is not going to allow her boyfriend on camera because she doesn't want the public to know about it, because she feels like she has given so much. And granted, she has with the whole Tom storyline and stuff, but it's like that would probably be the only thing that makes you interesting. But then again, it seems like she hasn't learned anything from the whole Tom of it all, because now it seems like she's gotten caught up in some type of fraud, or the man that she with now is caught up with fraud. I'm like, girl, do you just like scammers and fraudsters? Like, I'm over Erica. Erica should have been like either demoted to a friend of or let go. We didn't need her back. So then we have Dorit. I'm kind of over the whole PK of it all, but I get it. This isn't like the storyline isn't old to me yet, because it's like she's still working through trying to figure out like how to co-parent effectively with this man. Granted, I thought it was a storyline, but it seems like PK has been wearing Dorit low. The fact that she's begging Mauricio to have a conversation with her so he can go talk to his friends, so he can tell him to get some sense and act right, is wild to me. It's wild to me. And I'm just like, girl, beyond PK, the only other thing that's making her interesting is this back and forth that she has with Amanda. Who should we talk about next? Rachel Zoe. I like Rachel Zoe. I was excited to see how she meshed with the group, because Rachel Zoe is like Bravo royalty. Rachel Zoe was a part of Bravo's inception. I think her show came out in the early 2000s, so like 2008. Maybe 2007. So she was back during like the golden age, of Bravo, in my opinion. And I was really interested to see how she meshed with these groups of ladies, because on her show, she is the focal point. She was a part of, the show is called the Rachel Zoe Project. So I was just like, I wonder how she's going to mesh with these women. Is she going to get along with them? Is she going to try to make herself like one of the main characters? What is she going to give? And so far, I like what I'm seeing with her. I will say I was so surprised that she was still married to that man, because I remember watching that show as a child when my mom would have it on casually, and I thought that they were friends. It wasn't until I became an adult and I realized that oh no, that was like her boyfriend or / her husband. I always thought that they were just like she was his beard. I thought it was a lavender relationship. So to come to find out that they got kids, and it seems like he's a dick as a husband and somewhat a father, is wild to me. Because I never thought that they were going to last that long. Never. So it's just like, wow. Okay. And I do like the way that she's handling the divorce storyline. It's very much like, I woke up this morning and I filed for divorce. Let's move on. Because I think we're looking at somebody who was ready to divorce her husband. Rachel is a good contrast between Dorit and Kyle, because you have Rachel who, when she made the decision to divorce her husband, it was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to move on with my life. Then you have Dorit that's in the middle that's like, I was hoping we could work it out, but I have to make this decision to move forward with my life and my kids. And then you have Kyle who's steady dragging her feet. So I like the way she's handling her situation. You could definitely tell that Rachel does not see it for Amanda. When she had that conversation with Erica on episode 7, and she was like, girl, she just feels very performative. Very performative. And then when Amanda was making it known at Dorit and Erica's birthday dinner that she paid for the house, not her husband, and Rachel was like, why are you telling us this? She don't see it for me. Rachel said, I don't know. She's performative. I feel like she's doing all of this just to do it. And then she compared her to a 1960s flight attendant. And I said, oh, I wasn't born in the 60s, so I wouldn't know. But she just don't see it for her, and that kind of tickles me. So then let's talk about Sutton. Sutton. Girl. I hate the fact that I can tell that Sutton has changed her personality for the second time in order to be liked by these women. And I don't like it. I wish that Sutton had self-esteem and self-respect to where she would just accept who she is as a person and just allow the people that like her to like her, and the people that don't like her I don't hate the fact that I can tell that Sutton has changed her personality for the second time in order to be palatable for people that are never really going to see it for her. The first time she did that was for the fans, because when Sutton first came onto this show as Lisa Rinna's friend of, people didn't like her. They felt like she was abrasive. People felt like she was mean. And so when she became a full-time housewife, I could tell that she was softening her approach to things because she wanted the viewers to see a different side of her. Then she took up the mantle of asking the hard questions to Fox Force 5, because a lot of people, including myself, were annoyed at the fact that there were things going on in the press that were visible, that have made national news, i.e. Erica's case, Tom's case, and the ladies weren't questioning Erica about it. But you could tell, and I'm looking at, like, I'm thinking about those seasons. I don't think Sutton's heart was ever into that, but I think she just really wanted the fans to like her. And it worked for the time being. She became one of, like, the fan favorites. But now that she has fallen out with Garcelle and Avi, people have gone right back to not liking her. So I feel like she's once again changing her personality, but this time for the ladies. And it's not going to work because aesthetically, Sutton does not fit Beverly Hills. Sutton still looks like a white old lady from Savannah, Georgia. And I don't think Sutton is a bad looking lady. I don't even think she's ugly. But you can tell that Sutton has yet to conform to the aesthetic and the lifestyles that are out there in Beverly Hills. And I do think that makes a difference as to why the women don't see it for her. Sutton and Kathy Hilton pretty much dressed the same, but Kathy is always going to get the respect because she's Kathy Hilton, but also Kathy Hilton is the aesthetic of Beverly Hills, and Sutton does not. And I hate the fact that Sutton has internalized her looks so much so that she is telling these women and telling us that she wished she was one of the pretty girls. Like, girl, that's something you tell a therapist in your diary, never to the public. Before I move over to Amanda and Bose, I just want to say this about the whole Garcelle and Sutton situation. And this is a very unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people are mad at Sutton with the way in which she did Garcelle, but I also feel like Garcelle has a bit of blame in that situation as well. Garcelle knew for a fact that Sutton wanted to be friends with Kyle. She heard her say it multiple times throughout last season. And instead of Garcelle just accepting that her friend wanted to be friends with these people, she kept trying to push Sutton to, like, draw the line. And anytime you do that to somebody, it always ends up backfiring onto you. Now, I do believe that Sutton should have checked on Garcelle. She should have went after her and make sure she was okay. But I think Garcelle has to own the fact that, girl, you were trying to force somebody to do something that you knew they didn't want to do. And when it comes to the whole Dorit and robbery situation, Garcelle was wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I agree with Garcelle that I believe that Dorit, there's something funny with that robbery? Yes. Yes, I do. But where Garcelle lost me is, like, girl, this is your coworker. Like, y'all are in proximity of each other. Like, you can think she lied about that robbery, but that should have been something you kept to yourself, or you just should have had kitchen table talk with. You should have never said that on camera, because Dorit had every right to be angry with you because, like, she is still holding on to the fact that that was something that really happened to her. And I just feel like Garcelle, her allegiance to Sutton was too strong. She should have dropped Sutton, or she should have lessened her defense of Sutton as seasons went on, because I think what happened to Garcelle is that she did not make other friendships beyond Sutton, and that's on her. That's totally on her. Like, you should have took the initiative to get to know people beyond Sutton. So moving on, let's talk about Bose. Bose, girl, I know what I see with Bose. It gives tokenism. It gives there can only be one. And it also feels like Bose is attacking this season from a producer standpoint. Like, she's always asking these producery type of questions instead of just being in the moment. And I'm just like, Bose. I also am looking at Bose like, girl, you should be ready for Dorit to kind of push you to the side, because it seems like her and Kyle are definitely about to mend relationships, and I can see them kind of shifting on you because you do have this kind of abrasive energy. Like, when she told Mauricio that she was going to, like, attack him last summer, I said, girl, why would you say that out loud? Like, you just met these people a year ago. It feels like she's too familiar with these people that she's only known at most for 2 years. Like, they haven't even proven to you if they're good friends to you. But it seems like she doesn't care about that. And she is ready to ride for Dorit. The things that she said about Amanda, even though I don't really disagree with what she said about, it seems like Amanda was using her son's death as, like, a defense instead of just having a conversation with Dorit. It's also like, you probably shouldn't be talking about that in such a way, knowing that you lost your husband and you've lost a child. Like, you should be more sympathetic to Amanda, actually sitting down trying to get to know her. But it seems like every turn, Bose is letting it be known that she don't really see it for Miss Amanda either. Okay, she already done peep game, and she feel like Miss Amanda is fraudulent. Now this storyline of her wanting to have a baby with Keely, girl, let it go. Let it go. Amanda, I don't dislike Amanda, but I also don't like Amanda. I do think Amanda gives scammer vibes, like MLM schemes and stuff. But what's interesting about her to me is like I do enjoy the fact that she is ruffling these ladies' feathers, and they really they don't know how to handle her. They really don't. She is very performative when it comes to her business. She is very braggadocious about money, but she's called the money queen, so that is to be expected. But it does seem very performative. Like when she took that phone call in the car with Erica and Rachel, I was like, yeah, girl, you're doing a lot. If that was a business meeting, why are you doing that with them in the car with you? Like, rude, you know? So I'm just like, yeah, she is performative. Now all this talk about her being a part of a cult, and I'm like, what cult was it? And then the situation between her and Dorit, it's funny to me because it's two Karens versus each other. It's white women being white women against one another, and they're both trying to best each other. And what's crazy is you have Dorit, who is a Gen Xer versus a millennial, and I am so interested to see who's gonna come out on top. I feel like it's going to be Dorit because Amanda doesn't seem like she continues filming with the ladies, because for the after show, she's not filming the after show. They have a new after show set up where it is Kyle, Sutton, and Erica paired together. Then Dorit, Bose, and Rachel pose together. And then the friends of, which is Kathy Hilton, Jennifer Tilly, and Natalie. Other than that, there's no Amanda to be found. Like, I thought at least Amanda would have like a one by herself the same way Katie had one by herself from Real Housewives of Orange County. But no, Amanda did not film the after show. So I am guessing that like either she quit the show or she just opted out of filming, because even in interviews, Amanda is very much given that like she don't even know if she coming to the reunion. And I said, ooh, girl, I guess Dorit did you in, but I knew it was going to be hard for her. But I do love the fact that she is really leaning all the way into like these buzzwords, because Dorit does buzzwords. Because it took me out when Amanda and Kyle went to that furniture store, and Kyle is asking her about, oh, how you been? How are you feeling? And she's like, I couldn't go to sleep. I don't even think I was in my body, you know? Like that lets me know that was like not a safe space for me to be in, you know? And then as they're walking around, they sit down. She was like, I don't want to be around somebody who can't control themselves. In the confessional, she's like, it was aggressive. It was very, like, she accosted me. I said, oh my God, not accosted you. Then she sits down with Kyle and she's like, I don't want to be around someone that makes me feel emotionally unsafe. Like, I don't want to go to parties feeling emotionally unsafe where my cortisol levels are high. I said, not the cortisol levels. I said, Amanda, you are carrying right now. And I was kind of living for it, okay? Now, Kyle brought up Crystal Minkoff because she was like, this feels a little bit like when Crystal was going off on Sutton. And Crystal didn't take too kindly to that, because she posted a comment on Instagram and she said this. College isn't for everyone. She then says, hashtag humble brag, hashtag reading is hard. Then she goes on to say, responding to a Instagram user who says, when they can't keep your name out of their mouth, you're winning. And then Crystal responds by saying, when Garcelle is your storyline for 3 episodes, it's a problem. And she's not wrong about that. And I said, ooh, shots fired. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, Crystal, you are being a Karen. Not Crystal, but Amanda, you being a Karen. And I'm kind of living for it. When they sat down for Dorit and Erica's party, and Dorit talks to Amanda about like, last time we saw each other, it wasn't a good time for us. I would like to talk to you. And Amanda was like, do you want to go off to the side? And Dorit's like, no, we could do it right now. And so then that's when Crystal realized that Dorit wanted to have an audience. So Crystal said, you want an audience? I'm going to give you a show. She was like, you verbally accosted me. Okay. And Dorit's like, accosted you. And then Amanda's like, yeah, Amanda says, you verbally accosted me, Dorit. Yeah, you did that. And then you have her pulling out her phone, trying to look up the Google definition. And then you hear Bose say, oh, so now we need Google to look up definitions. And I'd have told Bose, yes, so I can explain to you how you harmed me. Like, that's when you really got to lean into the bag. I was tickled. I was tickled. And when I tell you Amanda is not letting off a Dorit because she's been in these interviews playing. I said, oh my
I
God.
was shocked that I had to say it twice. I was surprised that I had to say a second time, hey, I just told you what today was. You know, because I think the only appropriate reaction would have been like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know.
And then,
we'll talk about this at a different time. I never got the feeling that she cared.
we'll see.
I never got the feeling that she cared. Because someone who cared would have very sincerely been able to apologize. You'll see.
We'll see.
It doesn't get better.
Clearly, it's a new day, new clothes, new vibes. Okay. Yesterday I decided after I filmed the first part of the Chitty Chat that I was gonna go grocery shopping just to get some more, re-up on snacks and stuff like that, because they're projecting on Wednesday that we potentially will get some more snow. Last time I checked, I think they said it was like a 90% chance. It might have went down or it might have went up, but I said let me go out on the roads while they're clear, freshly salted, and I mean I should say mostly clear because there are some areas that was slushy, but for the most part it was clear. When I tell you everybody and their mama was on the road and Publix looked ransacked, luckily the things that I needed, they had. So I was like, okay, I'm okay. But I'm like, look, if you was looking for some meat and bread, you wasn't getting that from Publix. You was probably gonna have to go to Harris Teeter, I don't know, Walmart, Target, Wegmans. I don't even like ransacked, okay? So I'm just like, you know what? Or Food Line, but then again, I would think Food Line would be ransacked too. Gods. But here, y'all not here to hear my struggle. But let's continue this chat. So let's talk about Married to Medicine. I really have been enjoying this season of Married to Medicine a lot. Okay, so they're on their 12th season. There's 9 episodes. Episode 10 will not be premiering until February the 15th. Y'all know Super Bowl Sunday is on February the 9th, so that means no Bravo shows. So that's when episode 10 will premiere on February the 15th. I really, like I said, have been enjoying Married to Medicine. It feels like old Married to Medicine. Having Sweet Tea, Gregory, and Phaedra on the show, I was not a happy camper. I ain't like it. Okay. They messed up the vibe. Okay. But I'm happy that it's back. Now let's get into these ladies. So Miss Quad, she got it. I'm happy that I can tell that Quad is no longer trying to prove anything to the ladies or the fans or to Gregory and Sweet Tea, because last season, stepping back and just, reminiscing, I could tell that Quad came in there to prove that, look, y'all kicked me off this show. I'm back on this show to reclaim my spot. On top of that, I got a new man, which is finer than my last man, younger. He put it down. Okay, and he's willing to fight anybody for me, and I see what she was doing, but I'm happy that she seems to be back to herself. Now, this IVF journey, girl, I can't give it to you, Quad, girl. I don't know why you trying to have a baby with King. I don't. Granted, I think you think because he is a father himself and he does such a good job with his daughter, he would make a good father. But it's also like, girl, y'all haven't been together that long. I think at most maybe 2.5 years. So why are you trying to have a baby with somebody you're not locked in with like that, girl? Like, this would be a different conversation if Quad and King had been together for like 5 or 6 years. Then I'd be like, you know what? It's been 5 or 6 years. You either know you want to have this baby or not, and either he knows as well. But I can see King's side of like, this is a lot. Going back and forth to Africa, you getting IVF shots, you being very hormonal. Like, that's overwhelming. But I'm also looking at Quad like, when you're doing this type of stuff to your body, you need to make sure that the person that you're doing it with is prepared to be there for you physically and emotionally and financially. But I feel like King is just not giving Quad what she needs. Like, she needs to be with somebody who, when they can tell she's about to have a moment, they rushing over there to console her, hug her, love on her, and make her feel special and not like a broken vessel. And he don't give that energy. He's very nitpicky in their confessionals. It gives negging, like he's trying to humble her because he doesn't like her personality for real. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that they not together no more, because it was reported yesterday or the day before yesterday that King and Quad are no longer together. King confirmed it in his Instagram comments where somebody says, I don't think they're together anymore. And then another person responded to that person by saying, oh, that's sad. And then King said, I can confirm that I left that situation. And then that person who started the initial comment said, gotta do what's best for you. We only got one chance on this earth for all we know. Okay. And then Quad actually, I think released a statement with TMZ saying Kirk and I mutually decided to bring our relationship to a close in 2025. Quad tells us, while our time together encompassed many meaningful moments, the chapter of my life has now concluded. I wish him well. In 2026, I am focused on moving forward with clarity and purpose. Thank you for your support. So, yeah, they're not together anymore. And then Dr. Heavenly also added in her 2 cents because she was doing, the reviews with Carlos King. So I'm going to play a little bit of what she said, but King didn't take too kindly to what Heavenly said. And he said this: keep my name honest and yours stays protected. Don't use your friend. So I guess he feels like Heavenly is using Quad in this moment for traction. But let me play that clip
on him on Instagram. One of the images, he was shirtless. Somebody in the comments said, just too handsome. Quad is a lucky woman. King responded, luck ran out. Then another person stated, I don't think they together anymore. King responded, I can confirm that I left that situation. Dr. Heavenly, what are your thoughts on this? Because I remember weeks ago, the fan growth when it comes to not speaking on people's relationships who are your real friends. And you said, I'm Team Quad, she's my friend, and out of respect to Quad, I will not speak on it. Did you know then that's something that they were broken up?
Quad is my friend. I love my friend, but I will speak on it today because it's over with. We've been new. They've been broken up for months, Carlos. They have been broken up for months. I just think that Quad is a classy lady. The way that she ended it, the way that she left that statement, I think that she's a stand-up girl. And I think that's how it should have happened. They're not married. And to me, for a man to come up under the comments, to me, you're attention seeking. Meaning that's not the way you do things. And I know for a fact he was trying to get back with Quad just not too terribly long ago. So my thing is this. I'm not going to try to give it too much because it looked like he's trying to get attention. But I don't agree with anything he's doing. I don't like the way he's doing it. And for me, I have to look back at the beginning. Why was he there for the fame? And if people are there for the fame and they get a little bit of it, they can't handle it, And I know for Per Quad that he's still trying to hang out with people from the show. He's trying to hang out with, Yandy's husband and stuff like that. The people that he don't even know, he wouldn't know because of Quad. Go back to where he was before. Let her go back to her life. And then they move forward purposely and in goodwill. My whole thing is, yes, they have broken up. Yes, I've been knowing for months, but yes, I think that he handled that all wrong. And I think that he definitely wants to get back with her and he definitely wants attention. So we're not going to give him much up.
So here's the thing. I don't think King was with Quad for clout. I do think he was with her in the guise of it would raise his social standing. But I never look at people wrong for doing that. And it might be because of the way that I've been taught. I've always been taught, especially from my granddaddy, shout out to my poppy, you marry people that are equal to you or above you. You never marry somebody below. And my grandparents aren't uber wealthy, but they are Black people from South Carolina. He has always told me and my sister and my cousins that. So I don't see anything wrong when people get with people in order to elevate their status. Because if you're looking at marriage like a business, then that is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to go in business with somebody that's lower than you, or who can't or generate the same amount of revenue. So I don't think he's wrong for that. Now, I do have an issue with him responding to random comments on Instagram. Why did the Instagram people need to know that you and Quad broke up? Now, that gives me the ick, okay? Because it's you couldn't wait to tell people this because you wanted it to be a buzz. But I feel like he should have waited, or they should have gave out a joint statement on TMZ and called it a day. Or maybe Quad was going to reveal it at the reunion because that is coming up. But I'm just King, Now, I will say I will put him in the category of clout chasing if it comes a time where he actually does like an interview about his relationship with Quad, then I will say he was clout chasing and he full of it. But right now, I'm not going to label him that. So let's move over to Miss Simone. Simone, as y'all know, is one of my favorites on this show, if not the favorite on this show. She always gets a laugh out of me, and it's because she reminds me of some of my older cousins and aunts, okay? All that screaming, it feels familial to me, okay? We're a loud family. When it comes to Simone's storyline with Cecil and the boys, that was like a real moment. And that's also, like I said, like I love Married to Medicine. They give us real moments. Like you can tell that Simone is tired. I don't even think I think she's angry, but I think it's more so like she's tired of being the one to hold the family like on her shoulders. And it's sad that I'm going to say this, but a moment in Married to Medicine's like history that I always thought was so like real to me now is like tainted now that I'm older and looking at this season when Simone was ready to like divorce Cecil and everybody like rallied around them to be like, no, like y'all love each other, y'all love one another, like give this one more chance. I always thought that was like such a sweet and endearing moment because I was like, these are their friends, people that love and care about them. They want them to stay together because they know they still love each other and work it out. But now looking back, they should have allowed Simone to divorce Cecil and maybe they would have came back around to each other with time being away, because you can definitely tell that Simone and Cecil are friends, but I just don't think the marriage is working anymore. And she probably does need to get a divorce from him. And Cecil needs to wake up. When your brother is telling you, like when your sibling is telling you like, no, you effing up, then you need to reevaluate. And the conversation that he had with his sons where he was like, your mom feels underappreciated. And you can tell that like, it's not connecting for them. And I'm like, the lady is like, I don't think Simone has a problem with spoiling her sons. I think she has a problem with the lack of appreciation that they give her. I think on top of that, she's just tired of feeling like she's the bad guy in her, like her family, because Cecil is always backing his children. I always used to think that Michael had more sense than Miles, though that's the older one, the dark skinned one. But now it's looking like that neither one of them have any sense or any ambition. Well, I don't know about Michael, because Michael wants to go to law school. But yeah, I don't know. When I saw Alive that they did, it felt very much like, I think that come time for the reunion, I will not be shocked if Simone says that her and Cecil have separated. I won't be shocked. And I think a lot of people will be happy for Simone, because I think a lot of people this season can see she's like a dam that is like about to, like, that's bursting at the seams, okay? Now, her situation with Heavenly, I think Heavenly is wrong. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I said Simone is one of my favorites. I enjoy Heavenly. Heavenly get a kiki out of me. She makes me laugh. But this whole, like, Simone being unhinged, I'm like, Heavenly, you had people threatening to beat your ass. Contessa was trying to super sock you last season. You got cussed out on Married to Medicine LA by the girl that was black, and she was Blasian, black and Asian. Like, Mariah wanted to put hands on you. Like, you've had Sweet Tea wanted to fight you. You've had so many people that have really wanted to put hands on you, Heavenly. And for you to take this route with Simone is beyond me. But it also is that, like, it shows that Heavenly was hurt by that. Because I do think Heavenly, at the end of the latest episode 9, when she was like, you are my friend, and it would hurt me if you feel like I'm not your friend. I do think Heavenly feels Simone is her friend. And I think that's why she got so upset that Simone, like, pushed her arm away. Simone didn't push her, but she grabbed her arm and pushed it away, because I think that made her feel rejected. And you can tell that Heavenly is the type of person that when she feels rejected, instead of, like, going to sadness, she goes to anger first. And that's what we're seeing with this. Her calling Simone unhinged, I think, is uncalled for, because I'm like, Heavenly, you're the same person that was pissed at Lisa Nicole Cloud when she implied that you had liquor in your coffee cup. We have yet to see you with a coffee cup ever since she put that out there and made a joke about it. And you were pissed because you felt like she put your dental's license in jeopardy. So I don't understand why you acting like you can't understand why Simone would not be hurt by that and would not look at you like you're a friend. Even with you running back and telling Quad the VIN number of the car, Simone said it was a joke. I do believe that it was a joke, but I do believe that it was, you had a little hater spirit in you, Simone. You did. You did. But I do understand Simone being like, well, Heavenly, I told you that as a joke. Like, why are you running back to tell her that, knowing that me and her are not in a good place? And I think at this point, Simone is tired of like Heavenly doing things and then her just accepting the apology, like at the end of episode 9, where she was like, I'm sorry, because Heavenly always does that. I'm sorry, I'm going to do better. But then she reverts back to doing the same behavior. And I think at this point, Simone is tired of it. Now, we're talking about Heavenly, this whole running for state office. Honestly, at first, I didn't believe it. I really didn't, especially when she made Quad her campaign manager. I said, girl, if this was something serious, then I definitely believe that you should have gotten with people who actually have ran successful campaigns and got people elected. Not your friend on a reality TV show, okay? And I'm not saying that Quad isn't intelligent. I do think she's intelligent, but this ain't what I was like, girl, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. So to find out that she let Quad go once she switched what she was running for, I don't know. I don't really want reality TV people being in office anymore. Look what we got with the reality TV star, nothing but chaos, destruction, and just depravity. So I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if she does right by the community, good. But I also think Heavenly has to be prepared for some people to genuinely count her out because of her behavior on the reality TV show. And I can understand when Heavenly said that her issue with Simone and Toya was when they came to Angel's event and they immediately started to like bombard her with questions after she felt like she did something successful. And that made me feel like, okay, Heavenly is really serious about this because she's being sensitive. Because I feel like if this wasn't something serious to Heavenly, she wouldn't have got so frustrated and upset with the ladies. So let's talk about Jackie. Jackie, I feel like should be demoted as a friend of because she not really doing nothing this season. But also I am tired of Jackie trying to act like she's Switzerland or neutral when it comes to when Heavenly and Simone are at odds. Because honestly, girl, you're not really Switzerland. You side with Heavenly. And Simone and Jackie have never gotten right since Jackie made that statement where she says, I think Andy... It was either on the reunion or Watch What Happens Live when Andy ended up asking Jackie about her friendship with Simone and Heavenly. And she said something to the effect that they both have the same value to her. And I know that pissed Simone off because she had known Jackie longer. Okay. And I don't think Simone has ever recovered from that. And yeah, because when Simone took Buffy's side, that pissed Jackie off. And when Jackie took Heavenly's side, that pissed Simone off. And they have never been able to get right. But I do get annoyed with Jackie trying to be Switzerland or trying to be neutral when it's like, girl, you're not really neutral. You side with Heavenly because Heavenly says the things that you don't want to say because you care about maintaining a certain aesthetic, a certain respect, a certain look about yourself. So you allow Heavenly to say the things you want to say. That's why Toya be pressing you because she know you allow Heavenly to say the things you want to say. So I said, ooh, girl. And I think Simone is definitely tired of Jackie in this whole like I'm Switzerland shtick. I don't think she likes it anymore because she posted screenshots of people giving their comments about Jackie on Watch What Happens Live with what's her name? With Ashley, where basically in that, Jackie pretty much said that she was no longer going to be getting in between Simone and Heavenly when they get into arguments because they argue, but then eventually they become friends again. And she's just like, you know, I don't want to get in between it. And when it came to them asking Jackie about the whole back and forth between Simone and Heavenly saying Simone was aggressive and unhinged, that was Jackie's response. So she screenshotted Simone and she posted this comment where someone said, Ashley defended Simone more than her so-called friend, just like Ashley said it wasn't aggressive. Then another person said, Jackie isn't Simone's friend. It's clear that what happened and it ain't what Heavenly said. Then another thing she screenshotted where she actually added Jackie, where she says, add the real Dr. Jackie, I see you're still defending a devil. Then another Instagram user said, I can see why Simone is no longer practicing with Miss Switzerland. You saw the footage, amen. And then another person says, I think it would be exhausting always trying to keep the peacemaker facade after all these years. And I think so too. I think I can understand Jackie not wanting to choose sides because she cares about Simone and Heavenly, but at the end of the day, right is right, is wrong. Heavenly is making it seem like Simone just shoved her, like, get your hands off me. When did Simone touch Heavenly? Yeah, she grabbed her in a forceful manner and moved her hand and said, "Don't touch me," and she was having an attitude, just like Heavenly had an attitude. So I just feel like, girl, once you see the footage and you see that Heavenly put 20 on 10, and I do think Simone was slightly downplaying it, but she ain't lie on nobody. You should be like, no, Heavenly's wrong and Simone was right about this situation. I just hate my friends are fighting. And called it. So let's talk about Contessa. Contessa, she could have just remained as a friend of, in my opinion. She really irritated me when she played in Brandy's face at her birthday dinner. Like, I think Contessa was jealous and upset at the fact that Brandy's husband, you know, paid for the ladies to have a birthday dinner, and Scott didn't even help or pitch in to pay for her birthday party. That didn't even give, like, I think she said, didn't she say she spent like $40,000? That party did not give no $40,000. Like, girl, I have been to better with lower budgets. You should have got a decorator or something. But she was being nasty at that table, and I'm glad that everybody at the table was like, Contessa, she was tripping. She was tripping. And my thing about it is with Contessa is I don't like women who do this, where you are in a relationship that everybody can see that you are not happy, and instead of walking away from that relationship or going to get yourself a therapist if you're not going to leave the relationship, you vent to your friends. And then when your friends give you either good advice or bring up legitimate concerns about what they see, you get an attitude and get nasty with them. Girl, and that's the quickest way for Leah to cuss you out. I want y'all to know that, because you came to me about that rat face looking you was messing with. You came to me about that pale demon that you was hunching on. You came to me, okay, about that Korean man. Okay, you came to me and I gave you advice, and then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy because I'm telling you that what I'm seeing and you told me what you didn't like, and what I see, I know you don't like. See, I don't like women like that. Don't vent to me about your situation and then like leave the door open for me to give you my commentary, but then get an attitude when I know what I'm saying is right and you got a problem with it. Girl, suffer in silence then. Okay, or go to a different friend, but don't speak to me about it, because I'm gonna have some things to say. Okay, so she got on my nerves with that. Now, Toya, I feel like something is up with Toya. Like, her energy, Toya to me is normally the realest one on the cast. Even when it's the most inconvenient time, because Toya will say what it is, and like she'll mean what she says. The issue I have with Toya this season is it just feels like she is kind of like trying to stir up chaos instead of trying to bring clarity to the group. Like, the things that she is saying are factual. Like when they this episode, they flash back to the Quad and Simone sit down about the birthday party, and what Toya said was right. Like, you didn't want to invite her in the first place because you invited her like 2 hours before the party, which is true. So Quad trying to frame it like, no, girl, it's true. And it's like, yeah, Toya, what Toya is saying is right, but the level in which she's doing it, your point gets lost in translation. So I don't know what's going on with Toya. Like, I feel like Toya should be happy. She has the nicest, most respectable husband on the cast who adores her. Her sons seem to be very well-mannered. They cooking and cleaning and stuff. Like, they're like, you have a nice household. You living in that big ass house. Like, why are we so, like, it seems like angry this season? Last season, it like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something going on with Toya that we don't know. She doesn't really seem too happy, but we don't know what the root cause of it is. And I don't know if it's the whole Eugene working like a few hours away and him not being around, because her sons make it seem like, well, when he was here, he was still steady at the hospital all the time. So nothing has really changed, but I don't know. But I will say I am on Toya's side when it come to Mimi. because Mimi working my nerves. But Angel, Toya was wrong for what she did to Angel. Like, granted, I feel like Angel should have been upfront with saying that, you know, she has been in this relationship with this man for 10 years and it's been on again, off again. Like, she should have spoke up and told the truth on that aspect instead of trying to frame it like she's looking for a man, like a steady relationship, like a relationship that she wants to eventually turn into like a lifelong commitment, like marriage or a long-term relationship. But the way that Toya busted her out in front of that guy was disrespectful, because I don't even subscribe to the whole like, oh, it's girl code. No, I subscribe to like, you wouldn't want that to be done to you. And we know for a fact Toya would be livid if somebody did that to her if she was in Angel's shoes. So Toya, in that regard, should apologize. Screw girl code and all of that. But you wouldn't want somebody to bust you out like that, so you don't do that to somebody else. And I do think Angel is a good addition to the show, but I feel like Angel and this whole, like, we need to check your energy situation is getting old. Like, and you can tell that Angel's not really, like, confrontational. So it's funny because seeing Angel on Married to Medicine versus Basketball Wives, she's still the same. Angel wasn't that confrontational on Basketball Wives. So to see her on this show, and it's like she's trying to get into the confrontation, but it's not really working. Like, I was okay with Toya, like, telling Angel then when she was at her scrub line launch, where Angel was like, we need to have a conversation because I didn't like what you did. And Toya was like, well, do you want to talk about it now? And Angel was like, well, no. And I was like, with Toya, why bring it up if you don't want to have a conversation now about it? Like, girl, what? And then the situation with her and Brandy, where they're sharing the room in Miami in that beautiful house. And she was like, I just need to know what type of energy you on. And I don't think Angel was trying to be like antagonistic, but it came off that way. Cause I probably would have been like, Brandy, like, what you trying to say? Like, girl, we just got here. There's a better way you could have asked me that. But I also like that Brandy not afraid of nobody. Let's move over to Brandy. Brandy is not afraid of no one. And I like that. She got with Mimi. She low-key, I think, is about to get with Heavenly. Like, she got with Angel. Like, Brandy will get with the girls. And she got with Contessa. So I like Brandy. I do. I didn't know if I was going to because I was like, what is Brandy about to give? But I'm liking Brandy's energy. Now, Mimi is doing too much when it comes to like the group. Like, I'm like, Mimi, you just got here a year ago. Stop acting like you've been here since day one. Like, you're not one of the 5 OGs. You're one of the new girls. Like, know your place, girl. Like, when she tried to check Brandy at Heavenly's rally, I was like, Mimi, shut up. And I also don't like Mimi keeps jabbing at Toya, but not doing it directly. Because it's clear that Mimi has issues with Toya. Because she keep talking in her confessionals, and she keeps saying slick stuff. But I'm like, Mimi, just be direct. Just be direct. Just tell Toya, I don't like your behavior. Like, stop psychoanalyzing everybody. Girl, get off the clock. Like, stop doing all of that. But it's just like, it's kind of annoying with her. Because it's like she keeps saying stuff, but not saying it with her full chest. She'll get with Toya. And then at some point, Mimi disengages. And I'm like, Mimi, girl, you're going to have to get in the field. Stop putting your toe in the field, but get in the field. Okay? I do appreciate her storyline about her son and his autism. Like, that is something in the Black community that I don't say we ignore, but like we used to ignore, but now people are taking a lot more seriously, like actually trying to get people in programs to help them and things of that nature. One of my best friends, her brother has autism, but he has high functioning autism. He currently, I think he's 2 years out of college. Like, he just graduated. He's about to start an internship and stuff. Like, he's real cool and stuff like that. But the reason why his life is the way that it is and he has all these great opportunities is because his Black family did not allow people to make them feel some type of way or the stigma, and they sewed into their child. So I do think it's important to have people like Mimi, like Steve, showcase this aspect. And I also like that they are also making sure the daughter is okay, because it does have to be a lot. Like, that episode where he hauled off and like hit her in the back of the car, I was so happy she hit him back, because I'd have did the same thing. Like, I don't care that you have special needs. You're my brother. You hit me, I'm punching you back too. Because he hit her and she hauled off and hit him back. And I said, that's what you... They gotta learn. He cannot just be hitting people, okay? And yeah, I think it's important to have them on the show, but she's annoying. Mimi is annoying because she definitely have aligned herself with Heavenly, Quad, and Angel. And I'm not saying it's wrong that she's friends with them, but I'm like, if you are the psychiatrist girl, then you can clearly see that Heavenly has her things with her, just like Toya has her things with her. So why are you only psychoanalyzing Toya? Psychoanalyze Heavenly as well and her bad behavior. Let's chat about Traitors. So this season is the 4th season of the American or US version of Traitors. There are currently 7 episodes out on Peacock, and episode 8 will come out on February the 5th, which is this coming Thursday. I've been really enjoying Traitors. Like, normally, I do not watch this show on like a consistent basis. I'll just catch clips online or just read to see, like, you know, who won or who got banished or who got murdered. But like this season, because I saw Candace de la Bassett on the show, I was like, you know what, let me give this show a chance because I really like Candace. I have liked Candace since season 3 of Real Housewives of Potomac. And when I tell you, whoever decided to make Candace, Lisa Rinna, and RHOBH, I think that's how you say his last name, from Love Island, the Traitors, you did that. I don't know if Alan Cummings came up with picking them for himself, but you did that because I have been enjoying the chaos. And the thing about it is, Ron is a sexy, cute little chaos demon. And I hate the fact that if I saw Ron in high school, I would be all over him. I'm not even gonna lie. But like on episode 6, I knew for a fact that he was gonna write down Lisa's name. And when he flipped over that board at the round table and it said Lisa, I said, you bastard. Even though I knew he was gonna do it because I knew he was not gonna throw Ron underneath the bus because he felt bad for Ron and they had bonded. And I don't think, who else were they saying? Either it was Colton or Natalie, but I didn't think he was gonna put their name down. I knew it. I knew it. But I was just like, you chaos demon. You chaos demon. Then you have Candace. Candace is very like quick on her feet, but she's always been that girl. And I love the fact that people are seeing Candace as Candace. This is who Candace has been for me since like she's been on like reality TV. Like on Potomac, before it got real like dark for her, this was Candace. Funny, quippy, you know, just having a fun time. And you can tell that she's enjoying herself. And I love this aspect of the show because it's nice to see someone that you enjoy on TV actually like enjoying themselves. Her starting the conga line, you know, her throwing the candy at Rob, he deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved the candy throwing, okay? But yeah, I've been just enjoying the girls. Now, Lisa Rinna was pissing me off. I'm not even going to lie. And the reason why Lisa Rinna was pissing me off is because she was not defending herself strong enough for me. I don't understand why she didn't tell everyone that Colton pulled her aside and was like, Lisa, I think you're a traitor, or I know that you're a traitor. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, and we could get to the end together. Like, I was like, Lisa, go around and tell everyone that this is what Colton said to you. I don't know why they have this aversion to Colton. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why everyone's following behind Colton when he's got it wrong twice. Like, he thought Tiffany was a traitor, wrong. He thought Ron was a traitor, wrong. But yet they still have all this, like, they still following him, and I don't get it. I don't like it. And it has to be only because he's a white man and he's like conventionally attractive. Because I'm like, I would not follow Colton. He keeps getting it wrong. And then it's like they're too scared to like make a coup against him, and I don't like it. But let's get into these people. So we have Natalie, who's a gamer. Natalie is annoying to me because Natalie is falling right underneath Colton, and I don't get how she can't see that he's not really playing the game that well, in my opinion. On top of that, her always saying that no one should be going after Shields because that would like implicate you as a traitor in some form of fashion. But then when it came to the whole antidote situation, the way that she was like fighting Tara for the antidote and she didn't even need it, I'm over Natalie. Let's get to Jam Jam. The way Jam Jam screamed when they took him from the murderous banquet and he was like, it was Lisa. I screamed. I said, oh my God, Jam Jam. I wish they would not have allowed the faithfuls or whoever to get murdered to say anything because it made it too obvious, like them throwing stuff out there. Now, this is where Lisa really irritated me because he was like, because she kissed me. But I'm like, everybody was air kissing everybody. Lisa should have been like, if you really think it was me, then shouldn't everyone be dead when we all were air kissing each other? So why am I the only one that's being implicated when I saw you do this, you do that, you do this, you do this? And then that would have like flipped the table, but she wasn't saying anything. Lisa was not playing the game. Like she was being too timid. And I'm like, Lisa Rinna, we've seen you be an evil, maniacal hyena. Where is that energy? Like when you need to be that way, why are we not using it? What's going on, Lisa? Then we have Mark. Mark is doing nothing for me. He's just there. Mark is just there, okay? They had to get Rob out of there. Rob, is it Castino from Survivor? Rob messed himself up going around saying who he thought was a traitor. He should have kept it to himself. And then when the coast was clear, then say something. But like he was telling too many people, oh, I think this person is a traitor. And like and he got it right. He was speaking too much about like, oh, I think they're about to do a murder in plain sight. And I'm like, Rob, shut up. Tell only your people, you know? So they had to get Rob out of there. I really think if he would have stayed in the game, he would have gotten like almost to the end because he was peeping things like as they were happening. So then we have Stefan. Stefan seems really not. I said Stefan. Is it Steven? I think it's Stefan. Y'all know who. The man from One Tree Hill in Laguna Beach. I don't remember him on either show, but hey, he seems very nice. But I think he could be like a dark horse because people don't pay attention to him. I sometimes forget that he's on the show until like he speaks up. So like he's kind of flying under the radar the same way that Mark is. So like if I was a traitor or a faithful, like, and I thought like, and I was playing the game, I would be weary of those two if I was one of them. Candace, my girl, is playing the game. Ron, oh my God, I felt really bad for Ron. I've always liked Ron because he voices a lot of characters in adult animation that I like. The Great North, he plays Jerry, Honeybee's brother. He's voiced other people on adult animation shows that I like. But I could tell that it was time for Ron to go when he left because you could tell he wasn't having fun anymore. And you could see it all in his shoulders. Like he was very tense and the way that they were treating him was not fair. Like he said when he told Colton, and I was so glad he whacked Colton at that table when he was like, I made one mistake, but I'm being like nailed to the cross and you've made several mistakes, but it's only because we don't like Michael Rappaport and everyone likes Portia that I'm the bad guy. And I was like, yeah. And Colton didn't know how to respond to it. It got the stuttering and mumbling and a cackling. Okay. And then when he started saying goodbye to everyone at the table and everyone was like, oh my God, he's not the traitor, but they still voted for him. Yeah. Screw all of y'all for that. The only person I can respect their vote is like, well, two people. I respected that Rob wanted to be there for Ron because they had bonded. But I also respect that Candace was being consistent. And I like the fact that she was like, I'm going to maintain consistency because if you're maintaining consistency, that means that people can't interpret it as you being malicious or mean towards them or you have a vendetta against them. And I don't know what Dorinda's problem is. And I love me some Dorinda. I made it nice. But like, she has issues with Ron, and I didn't understand what that was. Ron was on Threads saying that Dorinda was saying things to him that I think could have some very like negative racial undertones that they did not show on the show. Like supposedly they had to stop the round table because she kept bringing up like personal things as to why she thought Ron was the traitor, even though it had nothing to do with the show. So I wonder if they're going to talk about it at the reunion because I'm excited for this reunion because I feel like these people going to be cutting up. Okay. But Ron is kind of to me having the Olandria effect. Like he didn't win the show the same way Olandria did not win Love Island season 7, the US version. But like everyone is like in love with them and their personalities and what they what they showed on the show that I think his star and he will be fine. Like Alandria, girl, that's a star right there. Ron's star is probably gonna rise as well. So then we have Mira. I hope I'm saying her name right. I feel like Mira is just like Mark and Stefan. Like, she's flying under the radar. Like, I don't know if she would be like a dark horse because she kind of is giving ditzy, but I don't know if she playing up the dits. I don't. I don't know. But like, she's giving us fashion though. Some of them outfits in her confessionals are on par with Candace, and I'm enjoying the outfits. But yeah, it's she not giving much. So I wonder if she'll make it to the end or if she'll be banished here soon. So then we have Travis Kelce and Jason Kelsey's mom, Donna Kelsey. I actually like the fact that she was the secret traitor. Like, I saw some people didn't like the secret traitor aspect, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was like a good twist on the show. And I thought it was like predictable, but not predictable. Because if I was going into this show, I would probably assume that Donna was a traitor. But then in my mind, I think I would second guess it because I would say, like, maybe that's too easy. Because it would be like, of course, they would make like, they kept calling her America's mom. She ain't our America. She ain't my mom. But I would think like they wouldn't want to make her a traitor, but then it would be easy to make her a traitor because it would be like, does anybody really think she's a traitor? Like, she making Donna a traitor would definitely make you second guess yourself over and over and over. So I thought it was smart. Okay. So yeah. Then you have Kristen. Kristen and Johnny got on my nerves because they both are trying to like rally the group together in order to go against Colton and to have like 5 faithfuls, or was it 8 faithfuls, so then like they could control the votes. But like they're too scared to go up against him, and I'm not understanding why, when it's like clearly y'all don't like the way that he's running the game. Y'all are saying that he makes y'all feel like puppets, but yet when you have the opportunity to like get him, y'all don't get him. That pissed me off. They were sitting at that round table and nobody said nothing. Irritated me so bad. Tara or Tara, I think it's Tara. She's kind of like a mirror to me. Like, she's kind of flying under the radar, but I do like the fact that she spoke up for Ron. But I'm also like, if I was on the show, I would be trying to get Johnny and Tara away from each other because of them being best friends. Like, I would be like, so what kind of angle are y'all playing? Because I would think if Johnny makes it to the end, he was going to probably bring Tara with him because they are best friends. They might have it to where like if one of them wins, they split the money with each other off rip. So I would be trying to get Tara and Johnny out if I was on the show. Dorinda not really doing much. I don't even know why Dorinda's still there. Like, I would have killed Dorinda instead of Caroline Stanberry, but Caroline Stanberry I don't think won that game. It was her, Ron, and somebody else, and they got rid of Stanberry. That part where Lisa Rinna says, "Back to Dubai, Stanberry," and she was like, "Rinna, you bitch." Scream. I love the campiness of this show. It's nothing but shenanigans, okay? But yeah, Dorinda not doing nothing. I feel like, but then again, I feel like you could use Dorinda as a pawn. If I was Candace, I would use Dorinda as a pawn. Yeah, I would. Because it feels like Dorinda could be easily manipulated. Then we have Tiffany. Girl, the way Tiffany read Eric and Colton, she was like, you need to change your career. I loved it. I loved it. I can't wait for the reunion because I feel like she gonna cuss Colton out. Her and Candace. Whoo, I can't wait. Monet Exchange. I enjoy Monet. I wish Monet could have stayed in the house longer, but this has always been my gripe with Traitors, the US. I don't like the fact that they never give the Drag Race girls like another partner. Like, everybody in here has like a partner to a certain extent. Like, the gamers either have been on Survivor, Big Brother, Survivor or Big Brother together. Then you have the Housewives. Then you have what's it called? The Love Island people, because Amira and Rob, they just never have like somebody for the Drag Race girls. And I feel like next season there needs to be 2 Drag Race girls on this show. It does. It needs to be, okay? But I was enjoying Monet until she got by Candace, okay? Eric ain't giving nothing but a follower. He is basically Colton's lackey. And that's it, okay? Michael Rappaport, I don't know why. I don't know what kind of blackmail he got on NBC Universal, but he is annoying. He is like a troglodyte. Ugh. Rob, we like Rob. Lisa, Caroline Stanberry. I felt bad for Ian. Okay, Ian got booted out on the first day, and I feel like if he would have stayed in the game, he would have been a problem. He definitely would have been a problem for the girls, like because Ian is smart. Caroline Stanberry, she was getting smarter though. Supposedly, Caroline and Dorinda got into a fight, but they did not air it. So I wonder if we're gonna see that at the reunion. I'm too excited for this reunion because I feel like the girls are gonna be acting crazy, and I'm down for it. Johnny, like I said, Johnny and Tara, I will be trying to get out of the house. Portia, girl. Portia, I don't know if it was nerves for Portia, but Portia set herself up. Because even I would have thought she was a traitor when she slipped up and said murdered and then banished, and she wouldn't shut up. And then when she said she knew there were 3 traitors, I was like, you're talking too much, Portia. Hush. So to finish the traitors up, I am very curious to see who's going to win, who is going to, get their bag, because genuinely I thought that the traitors, which would be Lisa, Candace, and Rob, were gonna all 3 somehow make it to the end, or at least 2 of them were gonna make it to the end, and then they were gonna split the pot. But I don't see that happening because Lisa, Rob turned on Lisa, and Candace is not happy about that. They was fighting on the internet the other day like siblings, going back and forth. And I said, girl, this is giving very much brother-sister fight. Like, no real heat behind it. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So that just lets me know they could never get it right in the in Scotland. They never got it right because Candace thinks Rob is a snake, and Rob is mad that Candace wrote his name on the little board because now their fates are tied, because if Candace leaves, then that's going to put a target on Rob's back. So I'm like, girl, Rob, you playing the game and she playing the game as well. Now, people thinking that Colton and Rob have an alliance and that Rob told Colton that he was a traitor, I don't think so. I think Colton really believes that Rob is a faithful, or maybe he does believe that Rob is a traitor but hasn't told him that. But I do think they're in an alliance. But I also feel like people have forgotten or don't know that Rob's, like, one of his good friends that was also on Love Island, Aaron, won Traitors UK version season 1. So I don't know if he called his friend and his friend was like, this is how you need to play the game, and that's why Rob is playing the way that he's playing. But like, at the end of the day, I'm not taking this show that seriously. It's a game show. At the end of the day, someone got to win the money, and we only got like 5 episodes left. So I don't know. The only person I don't want to win is Colton. Everybody else can win this game except Colton, because I do not like him. I don't like the way that he was like purposely trying to make Lisa feel uncomfortable once he felt like she was a traitor. I didn't like that. I was like, you already got stalking allegations up against you, bro. Like, stop being weird. Like, stop being weird. Okay, bro? Like, I just didn't like that energy from him. And I feel like he really think he that girl, and you not. You're not, Colton. Like, you want to be a housewife, but you don't have the charisma for that. Get somewhere and sit down. But yeah, I really have been enjoying this season. And I'm really looking forward to this reunion because I feel like it's going to be shenanery. And I want to see what everyone's going to wear. Okay, Natalie, get you a stylist because you've been looking a fool. Okay? You too pretty for that. Editor Leah here, you guys. I forgot to talk about Candace being on Watch What Happens Live with Captain Jason. It was actually really cute, and there were 2 things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So even though Candace and Rob probably fell out while the game was going on, it seems as though she would still rather be around Rob and trust Rob before she ever trusts Giselle. So the question posed to Candace was, Candace, at this very moment, who would you sooner trust in general, Rob Rush or Giselle Bryant? And Candace's response was, I would trust Rob with every organ of my body over that thing. And then Queens of Bravo said, it doesn't sound like Candace and Giselle made up on the Ultimate Girls Trip. No, they have not. But to me, the fact that she would trust Rob over Giselle makes me feel like the person that Candace was alluding to before the show aired that she was going to cuss out at the reunion is probably going to be Colton or maybe somebody else. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be Rob, or maybe she switched up and decided that Rob wasn't the worst. So I want to play a clip for you guys of Candace talking about being on the Ultimate Girls Trip, being around Giselle and Ashley, as well as what it was like to be on Traitors, and talking about how she started the conga line.
DH from Clear. By the way, I'm having so much fun watching you on the show. I mean, you were made for it. Okay, here's a good one. DDH from Clearwater, Florida. Again, spoilers, so, you know.
Turn the TV on.
Candace, can you see that Rob initially had to vote for Lisa since his two friends were on the chopping block, and it would have looked suspect for him to vote for either Colton or Ron? And do you realize your throwaway vote for Rob makes you look suspicious since his name hadn't been floated at the table?
I realize none of these things because they're false.
Okay.
So,
you don't think the throwaway vote made you look suspicious?
No. So Rob was a mute at this table, every other round table before this one.
Okay.
So for him to come out and give a State of the Union address, I was looking at him like, are you high? Like, are you okay? Like, there was like a twinkle in his eye. He like came out of his shell. That is suspicious to me. If I were a faithful and I'm looking at behavior at this table and all of a sudden you're like switching up, you were too passionate about somebody that you had no passion for prior to.
What did you think of Jam Jam yelling out Lisa's name?
Oh my God. I still have nightmares about that whole, it's Lisa, it's Lisa, it's Lisa, it's Lisa. Oh my God. It was so good, but so scary.
And it's ironic that they got Lisa based on the air kiss, but
and
it wasn't the
even
air kiss. I know.
Yes, like I love my faithfuls, but y'all need to go to faithful school. Child,
The conga line. I mean, that was a big swing you took.
It was like the conga line gods dropped in my lap and said, because we had talked about doing a conga line.
Oh, you had?
In the castle.
Okay,
so
okay.
me bringing it up, it wasn't unfamiliar.
Okay, okay. Switching gears, Mimi B said, can you tease anything about recently seeing Giselle and Ashley while filming Ultimate Girls Trip?
You all may have some nostalgia.
Was it cordial? I mean, seeing you and Giselle in the same frame.
Well, or something.
Okay.
So like I've already said, I've been enjoying Candace on this show, and you can definitely tell her energy is a lot lighter. I do get why she put Rob's name down, because it was like, you played in my face, so I'm about to play in yours. Do I think it was like a throwaway vote? Yes and no, because yes, she threw her vote away, but also she tied her fate with Rob. So he has to now figure it out since he want to play these types of games. I am interested to see the interactions between her, Giselle, and Ashley. And that conga line is going to be iconic for Traitors US, okay? So the last show we're going to talk about is The Valley Persian Style. This is season 1. There are currently 5 episodes out, and the next episode, episode 6, will premiere on Thursday, February the 5th. So far, it's been somewhat entertaining. What I will say is I was really interested in this show because I wanted to see if Glonessa, aka Gigi, MJ, and Reza had matured, or if they were any different. Ain't much change with them, especially for Reza and Glonessa. Cause girl, Reza is still messy. He's still married to Adam. They seem to be happy and things of that nature. But Reza is trying to like mend fences with Tommy, who is MJ's husband. But you know, the last time on Shards of Sunset, things got bad between them. The stuff that Reza and MJ were saying to each other were despicable. It was bad. It was like him bringing up her abortions. It was so much. It was bad. So Tommy is like, he don't want no dealings with Reza, and I can't fault him for not wanting to be around that man. Like, he's setting a boundary, but MJ has now become friends with Reza again, and it's causing tension with her and Tommy. But it already seems like Tommy and her already had issues, because we find out, I think it happened like a couple of months ago, that MJ filed for divorce. So I think she was probably already over Tommy, and that's why it was easy for her to go back to Reza and try to mend that relationship. Because I also saw a clip, I think, for the next episode where she's going to be going to Mauricio's realtor firm because she's trying to get back into working. So to me, MJ was already preparing herself with a life without Tommy being around. And I also think her mom is ready for Tommy to go as well. You know, she was like, you already gave me my grandchild, so he can leave, you know? Then we have Glow. Girl, she has anger problems, and the amount of money she spends on weed, girl, you're addicted. Like, I don't mind when people smoke a little bit of tree. I don't. You know, I have friends and family members who like to smoke a little bit. Like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Calm your nerves sometimes. But they are not to the level where Glonessa is admitting that she has to smoke every single day. And every time we see her leave, like an argument, she's smoking. And I'm like, girl, the weed ain't that good. She needs like extensive therapy. Her anger is crazy to me. Her bringing Dennis around And then being mad at her friends for not being mad at Dennis. But come to find out, she only married Dennis to get back at her ex. So I'm like, so then why are you mad that Dennis is messing with your friend? And like, that is like, girl, this is so high schoolish. So high schoolish. like I just was like, girl, get an annulment, go to therapy, get your life together, Glonesta. You are over the age of like 40. This is not healthy. You have a child. You need to be better for him. Girl. Because the anger is the anger. Then we have Sky, and I think it's Bashed. I know I'm saying his name wrong. She's annoying, okay? Granted, I don't like the way that Reza and them were coming at her at that party because she said she didn't like being in the valley, but she is so pretentious, and it gives that, like, girl, that was never your life. So that is why people are off, like, put off by it, because it very much gives, you never was that girl. You never had that money. So why are you acting like it now? And her husband, he clearly is giving, he kind of tired of her too. Because when she walked away from the table, he definitely didn't follow her. So I'm just like, yeah, y'all need to figure that out. But I don't mind her setting boundaries with telling like Reza to get away from her and all that stuff because he came at her. But I'm like, they're not wrong and you're not wrong. But like, he shouldn't have came at you, but also you're very pretentious and it's off-putting and it gives condescending and demeaning. And I think you know that and you're okay with being, that's the thing. I think she knows she's being condescending. I think Sky knows that she's being condescending and being very pretentious. But I think she does not like the fact that her friends don't accept it. Or she just doesn't want to be perceived that way. She wants to be able to act that way, but she doesn't want to be perceived that way. But she got a lot going on with her. Then we got her friend, I think it's Tyene and Greg. Girl, Tyene, leave Greg, because he cheating. Greg, and you have not been able to get over the fact that he cheated on you. I said, this too much. This too much. And I will say, you were messy, Tyene, for telling Reza about Sky putting the oils and lotions on the dog and that offending you. You should have told your friend if she's supposed to be your best friend. I don't know why you was telling messy Reza. Because he is messy. He's messy. He been messy, gonna always be messy. Probably gonna die messy. Okay? But girl, leave Greg. Because it's definitely giving, you ain't let go that he cheated and he might still be cheating. Then we have Amir and Natasha. I like them as a couple, but I think Natasha needs to go to therapy because she keeps comparing herself to Amir's ex-wife who passed away. And it's like, clearly he loved you because he got with you and he has a family with you and he's happy. But she, in the back of her mind, can't let go that he was madly in love with this lady. And then unfortunately, she got sick and passed away abruptly. So there's always this feeling, I think, for her that like, does he really love me like her? And I'm like, I think you just need to sit with the fact that he may never love you like he loved her, but he does love you. Like, and stop trying to compare that love. Because, girl, that lady gone and you still here and you have a baby with him. Focus on that. But I like them as a couple. I do. I hope they can get it together. They seem the least toxic when it comes to the relationships out of everybody. All right? And then we have Reza Jackson, who we find out that his last name is not Jackson. He just loved Michael Jackson as a child. I like him. He's funny. But yeah, I think the Valley... It's good. It's good. I feel like if this does well, they can bring back Family Karma. We can bring back Southern Charm New Orleans. And we can bring back Martha's Vineyards. Okay? Summer House. Because all the minorities need their shows. Okay? We need more. But yeah, I've been enjoying the Valley Persian style. I wonder if they're going to add any new people. Because, you know, they've been adding a bunch of new people on, well, were they really not new people? On the original The Valley, but it's all like recyclable people from Vanderpump Rules. So I don't know who can they recycle on this show. But yeah, for the most part, The Valley is a really cute show. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Thank you for chatting with me. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.